In this video, we're going to be doing another 50 Ninjago tricks. So without any further ado, let's get to it. For the first trick, you're going to need pasta. Using scissors, you cut them in half. Then get a wall piece along with the piece that has studs on the side, stick bars into it, and then you can put the pasta on it and it makes for a pretty cool texture. Since it's a holiday season, you can actually celebrate by building a present. You just take a circular piece, another circular flat, and then a brick with a star at the top. And done, you've got a present. If you have one of these Dragon Ball... Nope, I'm not gonna say it. I saw you guys in the comments of last video. So instead, I'm gonna be saying Dragon Energy Ball. So if you have a Dragon Energy Core as well as a Dragon Energy Core holder, you actually have to get this black piece as well as this gray piece. Put the Dragon Energy Core holder with the core of front of that, and pretty much what I'm going to be making is a shooter. So right here, I just made a base for it, as you can see here, if you want to build it. And then I added a bunch of plates because this is what you can do with them. You can pretty much press those plates and you can hit anyone. So we have the Crystal King here as our test object. And 3, 2, 1... Wow. For trick number 4, you can actually use this ladder piece as a fence. So here I've created an Imperium cubicle. Pretty much the Imperium can keep people out. It works great when you add one of those turning pieces. If you want to play Lego Brawls with some real competition, we have just created a Discord server. Join link in the description. Come play with us. This bike battle piece is more useful than you think. If you get one of these parts, you can make a shield. In fact, if you get a dome part, it looks like a better shield. And if you add an emblem, it becomes an even better shield. Now, before we keep on going, Lego has said if we reach 10,000 subscribers, we might be able to review new Ninjago sets. So please help us out and hit the subscribe button below. If you have one of these parts, you can make any character do Spinjitzu. You just have to add a stick to hold at the end, and then put a figure on it. To give him Oni powers, I gave him the crystal pieces, and I think that definitely did the job. If you have a bunch of loose Dragon Cores and don't know how to hold them, you can actually make this simple build with a front and a back, and then put it together, you can hold them with ease. If you think Zane has some cool robotic arms, using a controller and a few robotic arm pieces, you can put them on your minifigure, who can now carry anything. With the Dragon Energy Cores, you can build a car. For the back of the build, I put a moving rod, added the cores to the front, and to test this, Zane versus car. I think it's safe to say the car won. After a hard day of ninja work, Cole needs to eat lunch. So he gets some good sushi but finds out that there's nowhere to sit. To build the table, I used a 1x1 cylinder, a stick with an umbrella, one of those flat shield pieces, and a wheel. Then get food held up by a hold stud, and here's a table that can hold your stuff. However, Naruto sees Cole eating ramen and decides to steal it from him. To get it back, you can build Cole's hammer using these pieces. Nice job, Cole. Now, along with Cole's hammer, you can build a gong. You have to start with a plate and a stick, add bicycle pedals, and finish the gong. Let's try it out. If you feel like replacing Lloyd, you can make a simple crystal fern build using these pieces. Can the Imperium have some cooler weapons? Yeah, if you actually take this part and put it on top of the staff, it makes it look like a lightning rod, and if you have the Master of Heat or something, you can make a torch. If you have Coco from the Ninjago movie, you can use her armor for Zane and it fits perfectly. Since we built Cole a weapon, let's build Jay a weapon. This can be done by adding gray studs to a normal mace. If you have a minifigure with 2 studs in the back, you can actually place a flyer on their back using these A pieces. Let me know in the comments if you know what this is a reference to. Using these ladder pieces, you can actually build a pen for Ryu, or fence up a city during construction. Now for the next trick, I actually spent around 3 hours on this trick because I was trying to gather pieces to put Lego stickers on, and then I made these prints as practice. You can barely see it, but I got the sticker sheet ready, and it came out like this, really messed up. The ink got very messy and didn't stay on. I was defeated. Then I realized I had a brain. I could take the good looking prints and glue them onto the stickers and then stick them on my minifigure, like I did here, and I can't wait to show you. Since I spent forever on these, I'm going to count each one as a trick. First up is Lloyd Garmadon. I think it works out pretty well. Torso is a bit off, but it's okay. Nia definitely looks really cool, and the colors sort of match Lloyd's. I think Zane came out really good. You can't really tell that his torso is fake. Kai's colors came out horrible. It could have been much better. I think Cole did pretty well. I love the RX arms. I put that on there. And they also have back prints, both Lloyd and Cole. The rest of the ninja don't because I couldn't get those. Thank you so much to Skunk Bricks for making these. Next up was Jay, and he was definitely one of the worst ones. The prints came out pretty bad. I also finished my Sig Fig in Lego, and I think this one came out pretty well. Some of it is a bit faded, but still pretty cool. I also did the Master Lloyd minifigure, and if you want to know, the legs are from Master Roo from Crystallized. I think it came out great. Lastly, I made this emblem. These are from the mechs, and here's everything together.
Maybe if I... The training course!
Training courses are such a big thing in Ninjago, so let's make one. First, we need a big green plate, then Master Lloyd and our 2 trainees. For our first obstacle, I decided to get a bunch of these round stumps, and then I added this sword mechanism which could attack anyone jumping over these stumps, like this. So the ninja have to avoid these moving swords during their jumps. Next up, you have to jump over all of these and make it past safely without falling. And if you think this is hard, it's only getting harder from here. These Lego hoop pieces look just like the Ninjago hoops in training courses. And with a stand to hold a hoop, we've got the next part of our training course. But to make it even cooler, I actually made this little clicking thing where you can actually make the hoop go up and down. So if you go ahead and put the hoop right in there, it works well. Even though this already looks really menacing, let's make it worse. You can actually put these fire feather pieces on this bicycle pedal, and now we have a ring on fire. However, our next ring is worse because at the very bottom you can see this actually spins, and it has more fire on it too. For the fire on top, I used a gray glizzy piece, and I think it would be really cool as a minifigure weapon. Next up, I made an even bigger one of those fire thingies, and then I used these handcuff parts to hold up some more fire. There's our 3 hoops of fire. Next, I got a Lego tube and placed a robot on top of it with fire coming out of the arms, and it's only gonna get worse. I happen to have a ton of these Lego wheel pieces, which we'll be using for our next obstacle. I also got this very long rod, which is so long, it's about as long as a big base plate. And if you put some wheel pieces at the end, it looks like a marshmallow. In fact, I want to toast it a little bit. Oh, not again. That's what you get for misdemeanor. Along with this, I made these platforms using some door frames, and that's it. If you're wondering how this is a challenge, this big wheel turns really quickly. Now, if you somehow get past all that, there's another spinning thing that could break if you jump on it too hard. To finish off this obstacle course, I added 2 more hoops, one with a spear in it, so you can only go in 2 ways, half the ways, and one with fire cutting it into thirds, meaning you can only jump through one of those 3 ways. I got this tea table from the markets for Lloyd to have, and I also made this turning dragon symbol thing. And so here are our new contestants that are going to be testing our new obstacle course. Let's get to it. Starting off with Rapton. Oh no, what is he? What would you expect from Rapton anyway? Next up is Nelson, who didn't get too far. And we also have the Bangstone Warrior, who is... I don't even know what you... Don't! Not another one. Wyldfyre went wild on it. It just didn't exactly end up well. The Crystal King couldn't get past the ring since he was too big, and Garmadon decided just to fly over it. Sora got really far, it's just... it didn't end up going all the way. Aaron got much farther, it's just this happened. The first people who were actually able to finish the course were Pixel and Harumi. No wonder. But the Empress wasn't so lucky. The ninja treated the obstacle course as if it was a joke because it was that easy for them, leaving us with these 3. I don't exactly know what happened, but the green screen guy somehow did it. Dareth just used his Master of Brown powers and just flew across the course. As for the sushi chef, you have to tell him to deliver the lollipop to Ryu in half a millisecond. Damn, that was fast. If you have these trans infinity stone holders, you can actually put them on shurikens to make it look like Zane spinning them. With these 2 pieces, you can pretty much create a hoop to put all your weapons in. It's a great way to store a bunch of them. Another trick to store weapons is to put them in the ladder thing that we did earlier. Or if you have bigger skies, you can store it using this method. Lastly, using the wheel pieces from earlier, you can actually hold a ton of katanas. And that's really it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like always, bye.